man, we're coming up on 2 weeks that The Evening of Hate got released to radio, and you unleashed that thing on the public. And when you released that record, or that single, this is probably the heaviest Red song that we have heard probably in years. I mean, good God, you guys like laid it. Talk about making a statement, man. Talk about the feeling of having this, your first single out. It's been almost 2 years since Gone came out now.
We're back.
Yes. Finally, you're back. Yes.
Yeah, we couldn't be more excited about the response that it's received.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. Up to this point, I think "Feed the Machine" and "What You Keep Alive" were two of our heaviest songs. But when Anthony brought this idea to the table, we were in the studio, and he brought this song. He's like, "Hey guys, I got this track, laid out. I want you to hear it. I want to see what you think." When he played it, our jaws just kind of hit the floor. We're like, "Holy cow! This is going to be this is heavy." And we hadn't even written the bridge yet, and the bridge is just this drop F craziness. But we were thinking, it's time for us to go back to what people fell in love with. We departed, again from the sound that people fell in love with on Gone. It was something that we were instructed to do, and we were told that radio was going this direction, and so we kind of fell into the trap of, well, let's do whatever we think is going to happen, and it just didn't pan out for us.
Right.
Fans were happy with some of the songs, but overall, I think they didn't like the electronics and the poppier sound of Gone, and so we're like, we need to go back to the heavy stuff. So why not just destroy everybody on the first track?
Yeah, I remember when I got Gone. I didn't hate the record, but I'm listening to it. I'm like, it's a cool change, but it felt like it was almost too much change too quickly. It seemed like it was just something.
We found out quick that it was. Yeah, we have to try things. You don't grow unless you try things.
Right.
It's just the business is so fickle these days that fans are not prepared for change as much as they used to be, and so we're just keeping that in mind and being on our own now and not under a label structure and having to release things when we're told to release them and make music the way we're asked to make it. We can release at will. We can write the songs we want to write and choose the songs that we want to release singles and kind of take the reins. So we're off and running now and excited that the first song has received such a huge response. Yeah,
well, I mean, also in the same light I feel like sometimes you just can't win, because if you say the same style repeatedly, fans complain that it's the exact same thing over and over, but then when you try to go in a different direction, they complain that it's too different. So it's hard to find that fine line that it's going to work like perfectly, because there's always going to be that handful that aren't happy with it. But I mean, absolutely. Yeah,
we can't make everybody happy, so we don't necessarily try to make everybody happy. We just have to, at the end of the day, feel like this is the best that we can do at this point. Every album, I was telling a guy earlier on the phone that every album's a snapshot of where the band was at that point. Yeah. And I feel like Gone was us sitting there thinking, we could be gone tomorrow. This is our last album on our deal. Nobody knows what the future holds. And in this season, we're at first it kind of felt like we were getting kicked out into the cold, and we were on our own now, and so a lot of the reasons we did a photo shoot on the top of a ski resort mountain, that was one of the coldest things that I've ever experienced in my life. But it was kind of a, metaphorically speaking, what we were kind of feeling when things just, the bottom fell out for us, and we had to, what are we going to do now? That kind of conversation came up, and we're not the kind of guys to lay down and not fight for what we believe in, and so we're like, we got to do this, and so we decided to stick it out, and we needed our fans' help to get us started, and they've shown up, and there's amazing, and it's it's got us started, and
Yeah.
Or just, I guess we got to choose the lesser of two evils every time we release a song. It's like, well, we're going to make this person angry, or this band's not going to be happy with it. But it's take it or leave it kind of thing. So,
yeah, and I mean, your music is always, delved into some pretty serious topics, and this one is no exception. I feel I've read some statements that you've made about kind of where you guys wanted to go lyrically and kind of thematically with this song, and what I get out of it is that it kind of goes into I kind of take the depression route on what it kind of relates to, because people with depression, that hits you the hardest at night, and you battle with so much hate and self-loathing when that moment comes that you don't know how to get out of it. And I feel like this is a song that really kind of touches on that subject a lot, whether you guys may have wanted to go in that way or not. But I feel like
everybody always asks us, what's this song mean? And, it's a question we'll answer, but it's not one we particularly like to answer, because when you create a piece of art, it's up to that person to determine what it means to them.
Right.
And I like that description of the evening hate. I don't deal with depression, but we do have a lot of fans that do, and I certainly don't understand what it's like to feel like that. I understand what it feels like to be hated, and to everybody I think knows what it's like to be hated, but evening hate was coined by trench soldiers in World War I who were experiencing this bombing that just never ended, and they call even today you hear the term laying some hate, hate being the firepower and the tools we use to destroy terrorism and things like that. But those soldiers, they experienced this hate that was coming from a regime that was hell-bent on ending, an entire population of people and ruling the world. And, they coined that phrase, evening hate. And I just thought it was fitting with where we are right now as a country.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a snapshot of where we are right now. But the goal is we still can learn to love and crawl out from under that hate and defeat it by loving each other and trying to work out our differences instead of just the relentless bombing that's going on.
Yeah, and you guys kind of, in the video, that's kind of a topic that you guys kind of go with on the video. There's so many different ways you could have gone with that video, because the song didn't go so many ways. But in the video, it's like a mini movie, and in the end, you're in the middle of that battle, but in the end, you come out of it, and it's so much. I think you or Dan or somebody even says, "Can you imagine you see something this beautiful again?" And that pretty much really sums up this song in so many ways.
When you're going through it, you don't feel like you can see the end of the tunnel, and then all of a sudden you make it, and you're just standing there, and you're surprised that that you were able to. I think we all have the strength to get through things. We're all given that strength to get through things, and I like I said, I can't speak for people that deal with depression. I've certainly had conversations with fans, and they've told us how the music helps them, and that's always been our goal, is to kind of meet people where they are and tell them a story in an interesting way. And when I heard the term "the evening hate," I immediately started doing research, and I found that no one's ever used it in a song title. It's never been used in lyrics. So that was kind of one of those magical moments we had in our career, where we came up with an idea that hasn't been used before.
That's almost impossible anymore. That's so hard to do.
Right. I mean, even the titles for the other songs we have recorded, they seem like they could have been used before, or were lyrics somewhere, or were an idea somehow. So the evening hate is a special one for us, for sure.
So at this point in your career, we're 13 years away and past from The End of Silence came out. At this point, did it seem kind of like going independent and forming Red Entertainment? Did it seem like it was kind of a now or never type thing? Because if you signed another record deal, who knows how long that deal could be for? I mean, did it seem like a now or never thing for you? Is that why you decided to do it now, or what was so right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, entertainment is instantaneous these days. So, if you go away for a while, the chances of you making it back are pretty slim. You know, bands that disappear for a couple of years and come back and are able to, you know, make it back onto the big stage and whatever are pretty fortunate. But it also has to do with their hard work and the music that they put out. And we thought that this was, I guess more in general, we've been going for 13 years. We didn't want to stop, but as far as what we need to deliver at this point in our career, it was a now or never situation for us. You know, we listen to our fans. There's been a lot of frustration with where the music has gone lately. You know, some things in our control, some things out of our control.
Sure.
But you know, here reading comments and stuff from fans, they're reminiscing about In the Silence and Of Beauty and Rage. And I thought, you know, those are two of our best albums, and the fact that they are relating it to them tells me that we made the right decision. So. Oh
yeah, for sure. And I mean, you had even mentioned that now that you guys are on your own, you're in control of everything, fans won't have to wait 2-3 years for new music. I mean, do you guys plan on doing another full-length record, or doing the more singles here and there to make it more quick?
When we first told fans that we were going to, what we were planning on doing, the goal was to release singles here and there and not do full-length albums, because you know, the music business is ever changing. It's always it's like water. It's always a different shape. It's always a different color. It's always all these things. And you know, just 8 months ago when we made the announcement that we were going independent, that we were going to start writing music and we needed fans' help to get ourselves started financially, all those things change quickly, and now fans are like, we want an album. So we're sitting here thinking to ourselves, do we give them an album, or do we continue to just give singles and everything? The bottom line, though, is that there's no longer going to just be this bucket of water splashed on fans and get them soaking, you know, for a couple months. It's going to be more of a steady rain, you know.
Gotcha.
That's kind of our goal. So.
Right, and being independent now, if things change, you can have the plan where we're going to release a full length. Well, now it's changed. Well, now you won't have that label saying, well, now you have to do this no matter what. Knowing it's probably not going to work out, you can kind of change your business and game plan up.
Yeah,
because,
totally.
I mean, but is it weird because every record was released through Essential, basically. Is it kind of odd not having that label home?
It's just a name, you know. It was essentially a label is a bank. That's what they are.
Gotcha.
They give you the money to make an album, and you produce the product. They distribute the product for you, and they take all the money for it.
Gotcha.
So, you know, when fans were complaining that we were asking for too much money on our GoFundMe page. First of all, fans don't realize how much money it takes to record music, or to record with people who, you know,
to make it good.
You're not going to go to some guy who says, I can do mix master and do all this stuff for $1,000 a track. Well, that's not. No artist that has as an established artist is in their right mind is going to go to somebody like that, because they're going to go to somebody who you get what you pay for. Period.
Exactly.
So, it's expensive to record music. It's expensive to start a company. It's expensive to make videos. It's expensive to do all those things because everybody has to get paid. Well, when a label is taking 80% of that income from album sales, and then you have a manager to pay, and you have your booking agency to pay, you have your crew to pay, you have a bus to take care of, all these things, everybody can learn real quick where all the money goes, and it doesn't go in the artist's pocket. So everybody was scratching their heads. Why does a band established as Red and had the success that we've had asking their fans for all this money? Well, the short answer is that there was no money because it was all being taken from us.
Jeez. Yeah, I can see why you guys went independent. That makes perfect sense now. I mean,
and it's not we don't have any, this isn't to bash the label structure. It's not, it's a lot of people enjoy being on a label, but I'm sure a lot of artists wish they were in our position, had the freedom to do what they want to do. Not to say that the label didn't give us incredible opportunities, and we're the ones that gave us the money and the opportunity to make albums and grow the fan base that we did. We had a great relationship with our label. They gave us a lot of freedom to do a lot of things we wanted to do. But there were mistakes made along the way.
Sure.
And everybody, learns from those mistakes. But we just thought that it was time for us to call our own shots and
Sure.
see if we can do this on our own.
So do you guys think about possibly bringing other bands under the Red Entertainment umbrella at some point, or is this specifically for you guys to have the freedom you want to do?
We honestly haven't had that conversation.
Okay.
We don't. If I were to answer the question, I would say at this time no, because we don't want to turn around and do to other bands what labels are doing to them in general.
Sure.
It'd be kind of a setup different where the band can win more.
Right.
And sustain themselves financially. Like I said, a lot of bands are not able to continue because they can't financially make it work.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive. Everything is expensive, and the last person to get paid, like I said, is the artist. And if the artist isn't getting paid, the artist can't thrive. The artist can't make music. The artist can't do those things. So bands that are out there and they're doing it, they're making enough money to make music and tour and stuff are very, very, very fortunate.
Yeah. Definitely. And I mean, I had read that you had mentioned that maybe a fall tour coming up, being announced at some point. Now that the single is out, and it's doing very, very, very well at radio, and I mean, everyone's loving the song. More songs are coming, and then a fall tour possibly?
Well, we originally wanted to do a 10th anniversary run, and I can say we are going to be doing some shows this fall. It won't be our own tour.
Gotcha.
But we got a few shows at the end of October, and we'll be in Germany in October for a show. But the goal is, like I said, in this time we've rehired new booking agency, new radio team. Our management team has grown stronger.
Nice.
All those things had to fall into place, and the timing, is everything. It takes months to plan a tour, and pull that off. So the goal is to go hard again in 2020.
Awesome.
And that's just kind of where things, you can make all the plans you want to make, but you're not really in control.